This episode of On the Line is presented to you by Living.fit, your one stop for all your fitness needs. Make sure you go download the app Living.fit today. Now here's the show. Welcome to On the Line. Today is Tuesday, August 30th. We got a great show for you guys. We got John Makdessi on the show before his fight at UFC Paris. Great interview, very fun time talking with him. Once we wrap up with him, we talk a little bit Mighty Mouse, his big finish this past weekend at One Championship. Fun fight. We talk about him. We talk about everything else going on in the MMA world, and then we wrap up with our winners and losers. Always a good time. Before we dive into all that, if you're looking on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. Listen on Apple, Spotify, Deezer, Stitcher, and any other podcasting platform. Hit the follow, leave a review. You know the drill. But without further ado, let's go on and dive on into our man, John Makdessi. We are joined by a very special guest. He's about to fight at UFC Paris here on September 3rd. We are joined by the Bull, John Makdessi, my man. Are you still in so you're in Phoenix still? You haven't made your way over to Paris yet?
Not yet, Sunday.
Sunday. Okay, so when this comes out, you'll be over there in Paris. So have you started the time adjustment stuff yet?
No, not yet. Not yet.
Not yet, not yet. So do you have any idea what time you're like in terms of like your time in Arizona? Do you know like what time you'd be fighting like in terms of like over there in Paris?
Yeah, it's so when it's mornings here, it's nighttime there. So it's gonna be in reverse. So when I fight in Paris in the evening, it's gonna be mornings here.
So you're kind of preparing yourself to kind of like peak at early in the morning rather than like later at night.
Well, I'm gonna go there a week before. With my experience when traveling, I try not to overthink it and just my goal is be ready for anything and mentally be ready, physically be ready. And this is a part of the game. This is a part of being a UFC fighter.
Is it kind of
Uh,
exciting? Because I feel like you've always been on this. You've been on the western side of the world. You never really ventured over to the eastern side.
yeah, because I try very hard to control my outcomes. As an athlete and fighting, and there's every little every athlete will tell you. We all have our little superstitious. We try very hard to. Uh, I try very hard to win everything. In a sense of everything's in the detail. So I try. If I was living at a certain area, I wanted to fight in the same area, same time zone, eat the same food, train the same hours. It's very ritual. So you get into that routine, but after COVID and a lot of different unpredictable things, it teaches you how to just adjust and adapt.
Exactly, and also you're a veteran of the game, so it's one of those things too where you're kind of used to. There have been situations in your career where not everything's kind of gone according to plan, and you had to adjust on the fly. And in this fight, this is kind of a prime example of it. Third time, hopefully the charm. Nasrat, you've been booked now 3 times. Hopefully this happens. How excited are you for this matchup to hopefully finally happen?
I mean, from my whole fighting career, 10 years of UFC fighting, I fought big names, Donald Cerrone, Yandis Medeiros, Sam Stout. I fought big guys. I fought a lot of. This is the first fight that I generally don't like a dude. He was a training partner of mine. We used to rotate. He used to rotate in my sparring sessions when I was getting ready for a fight, and they would put him in and coming from TriStar. And once I decided to leave that camp, me and the head coach Faraz Zahabi, we had an oath where we won't never fight each other. So he called me out. He says a lot of things. I generally, it doesn't matter. It's back and forth. This is it's something I've been waiting for over 4 years now to fight this kid, and we'll see what happens on September 3rd.
Hell yeah! Well, I was about to ask if there was beef. 'Cause I know you guys are former training partners, so there is a little bit of beef and a little backstory behind it. But obviously, as I've said, this has been booked a couple times before, and again, as I said, God willing, this fight does happen. But is there a part of you that's like, we're gonna get closer to it, and just something weird's gonna happen, and we're not gonna get there? Like inside of you, you have to be thinking a little bit, like just based on what's been happening every single time this thing gets booked.
No, it has been, for this particular fight has been very crazy. I got injured, like major surgery repairs. He got injured. We were booked. We were scheduled. He pulled out. Then I had to pull out. It's very weird. Strange things happen. Strange things occurred. But I try not to overthink it. And I mean, every day I cross my fingers. I'm trying to say it's a this world, this fighting style, this fighting is very unpredictable. It makes you really live day by day.
It is a day by day thing. And I know one of the other things is you kind of talked about the major surgery thing. You've had some really shitty luck the past couple of years. Like kind of feels like every year you get a fight and then a huge injury happens. And this past year you tore your hamstring. What was worse, the hamstring or the ACL?
Yeah. Um, yeah, man. So it's strange. Like I've been fighting since, I mean, I've been doing martial arts since the age of 6, like competing at a high level, professional 11 years. And it's weird. Like it just, my body, I guess, just decided to start rip, like things started to rip. But like like my last fight, when I fought Bahamondes, I fought him with a broken foot and a rotator cuff, torn ligament. So I had to, I mean, it was weird, but I fought him through it. So it was, I mean, in Brazil, I fought with an ACL, a torn ACL, which was hard for me to kind of, I fought through it, but it's weird. You know what I'm trying to say? These things are weird. It happens, but I'm trying to I just stay positive and try to learn from my injuries. I've been doing a lot of like rehab. I never used to take rehabilitation serious. I used to just train hard, kill myself. But this time around, I've been taking physical therapy more serious, getting more massages, getting more relaxation, doing more stretches, going into a because as a fighter we train so hard and it's like you just want to relax, but then you can't relax. You got to do all the extra stuff.
Yeah, you can't just like as a casual person who like works on things like that. You think like maybe like a massage gun, like for us, that's all we really need for recovery. But you
No.
guys are competing at the highest level. You guys like literally need to do all out ice baths. You need to do the cryo chambers. Like, because I saw you doing that yesterday, the ice
Cryo,
thing. How cold is that thing?
cryotherapy is a lot easier than it's more tolerable than ice bath. Ice bath, you're in there for 10 minutes. It's a lot it's more brutal, but cryo is 3 minutes. Like you're cold for 3 minutes. It sucks, but it's pretty cool. I've been doing a lot of body tempering where I have a guy who literally puts like a 60-80 pound steel and he just rolls it on my body, helps with all the tissues and the fascia. Doing a lot of hot and cold recovery. I've been focusing a lot on rehabilitation. I have an anterior pelvic tilt. It's interesting. You would think all the years of training I'm more dominant through my quads, so I have to strengthen certain things. You learn about it. It teaches you about yourself, about your body, and your limitations and why I get injured. Because when I got injured, like this past 2 years, I got 4 surgeries. It's been killing me. Like it killed me. I was like, why am I getting so injured? Because I'm pretty disciplined. I don't party. I don't go out. But it's just through the years of my body has adapted a certain way, and now all muscles are firing. So it's interesting that I got to be more mind body connection.
Yeah, it's interesting how your body works and how like kind of how different things kind of manipulated different ways, and it's just the human body is just fascinating as a whole. And just out of curiosity too, because like I said, you broke your foot in the fight. Do you know the specific moment when you broke your foot in that fight?
I, I don't know what happened, but I'm guessing. I throw a kick. He blocked it with his elbow. And the moment once I started bouncing, because once I placed my foot back on the canvas and I was weight distributing, I felt something off on the first round. And I tore my rotator cuff in training camp, but I fought through it.
I feel like that, even though obviously fighting through an injury is tough as it is, but I feel like if you're going to tear anything, a rotator cuff, probably not the worst injury to have going into a fight.
No, actually, it was tolerable. No,
Yeah,
it
it was
was
tolerable. Yeah.
hamstring was I couldn't. It was very bad.
Oh no, and the ACL too. I feel like of all the three you fought through, ACL probably was the toughest.
I think the hamstring. Well, ACL,
Well, the
ham.
hamstring you didn't actually fight on. You fought on the ACL though.
Oh yeah, no, but yeah, for sure, yes. My leg was a balloon, but uh, but the hamstring was like I had to go straight to the ER. Like after once that happened in training, I could not even get up. I couldn't even stand up. With the ACL, I was able to put pressure on my leg.
God, it's crazy. It's kind of crazy. Like the hamstring, that torn hamstring, you hear it and you're like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. You hear ACL, like, oh, that's crazy. But the hamstring, it's like you can't even sit down. Were you like laying down on your stomach all the time? Like, how could you even sit down?
So the surgeon told me ACLs he reconstructs ACLs like 20 20 ACLs a week. Hamstrings he gets 8 or 9 in a year.
Mm.
That's how a 3-degree full tear from the bone. It's very rare.
Yeah, it is really rare. That's it's one of the rarest injuries. Kind of like tearing your biceps. It's something kind of weird. You don't really see all that often, but
Yeah,
it's painful. It's painful.
very painful.
Very painful. So I want to go back and talk about the Ignacio fight, because I feel like you've kind of been screwed over a couple times in your career in close fights, split decisions, things like that. It's pretty obvious you won that fight, but when you hear them start declaring it a split decision in your head, you're like, dude, don't fuck me over again. Like, please don't screw me over again. Was there a part of you like, dude, they're gonna do it. It's gonna happen again.
I mean, listen, I don't want to. I don't like to talk negative, and I don't want to be like a sore loser. But I mean, every fighter wants to win. Like I train, I fight to win. I don't fight to lose. And in the past, you look at histories of most robberies. I got like every time I think I'm gonna win, I lose a fight, which is losing two decisions really hurts. But the I was surprised they said split. I mean, I believed in my heart. I beat him. I dominated every round. You know, I exchanged the exchanges, the accuracy, my precision, my damage, outcome control. But I don't know. It is what it is.
It is what it is. I'm glad you won though, and because I was also the same way. Like I thought you did a pretty. I thought you were. It was a pretty clear win for you too. So when they started reading it off as a split, I was pretty surprised by that. So in a fight like that too, obviously, is that the tallest guy you've ever fought? A 6'2"?
I don't know. Donna Cerrone, what's his height?
He's like 6 feet, 6'1". I think Inaccio's taller.
I don't know. I fought tall. I fought big dudes in 155. You know, I
I'm gonna
fought
say
big.
there. Yeah,
But
you got.
he was a big guy.
He
He
was
was
a
a big.
big guy. So was the game plan just kind of be in the pressure and kind of negate like the lengthy kind of spinning shit and like use like kind of negate the kickboxing, kind of keep him more and kind of keep him within range, force him to box.
I come from that style of like taekwondo and karate, so a lot of you know, uh he's very unpredictable with his movement, and he uses his reach very well. So I had to close the gap, and I had to kind of like, you know, Mexican style, put pressure and like take a punch to give him, take a hit to give him 3 4 shots.
And obviously, again, it worked. And so one thing, it's kind of this past weekend, obviously, I had people fighting at altitude, and they're all talking about how their body kind of shut down and stuff. But I feel like it happens also at non-altitude. And you've been in this game for a long time. Have you ever had a fight where, at a certain point, you're in the fight, you're like, I want my body to do something, but it just won't do it. It just feels like your body is shutting down, and just won't like you don't have that brain and body connection.
Yeah, for sure. That's why as fighters we try very hard to control the environment. But um, I think going to Brazil was hard for me because it was more psychological because of it was COVID and I wasn't sure if I was gonna fight, and then going to an empty arena. But that the air and the air and how I felt was I was off.
I was gonna say I was gonna ask about the Giant Stadium going through because that was the one event they had before literally everything shut down. How weird was it being in that massive arena with no fans?
Yeah, I felt like I was in a twilight zone. It didn't feel real. Didn't feel like it was so. It was weird. I was just going through the motion.
I was gonna say, like, 'cause I don't know if you how many video games you played, but it almost felt like one of those like stadiums or whatever, where it's like you're in space or whatever, and it's just like you in the platform and nothing else. You're just like in a space of nothingness, and it's just you and the other person. You know what I'm talking about?
100%. It was weird. It was everything was weird about it. Like I just didn't feel like it was weird. It was a very strange moment, but I went through it.
What was the biggest? Obviously, in the Apex is a little bit smaller. You don't have the big like openness and all that other kind of stuff. But do you think that was there any similarities? Really, obviously, no fans part. But was there a similarity between fighting in the Apex and fighting in the giant Brazil stadium with no fans?
No, Apex was a lot different. Apex was okay. You know, it wasn't as bad. No, Apex was actually was a the fighting the Brazil was definitely one of the weirdest times for me.
Did you like so? And obviously, you've only I think you only had one fight. You had two fights technically without fans. But I mean, the Apex there was a decent amount though. Was that did they already have fans back for that? Was that when they started bringing in like the 100, 200 people at the Apex, or are they still kind of
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there was people there.
okay? There was people there, so you've only fought really once without fans, which you guys we said very weird, very weird. And so I don't want to say they're tired word, the R word, but at the end of the day, time is ticking, things like that. You don't get any younger. Have you thought about what the end is? Have you thought about maybe like one more fight in Canada or anything like that? Have you even put any thought process on it, or you just only focus one fight at a time?
Yeah, no, definitely. Of course, I'm 37, you know, and I really wanted to get to a title contention. So, and Nasrat was an opponent that I would love to compete, fight. I personally don't like the kid, so I just don't want to be like. For me, I'm at a point where it's like now it's time for me to either you know, do I if I need to be motivated to fight, I need to have a good opponent in front of me versus just randomly put in different cards. So, and obviously, I want to, if I don't get that title contention, obviously, I'm able to be an inspiration and motivate the younger youth and help the younger guys coming up and try to step on the side. You know what I mean?
Because I know
So
one of the things you talked about was the mental space and things like that.
yeah, I mean, look, the fighting, being a fighter per se. I mean, like what's his name? He's very popular in the UK.
Patty.
Piblet,
Yeah,
Patty,
Patty.
mental health. A lot of these guys talk about mental health, but a lot of fighters don't talk about it. But I'll say it right now. Like, of course, we're all mentally fucked up. I mean, all we do is beat the shit out of each other in the gym. We're going to fight. We're going into a cage and fight. So I mean, it's obvious mentally. It's not, like a soldier. Soldier has to go to battle and kill people, come back home to civilization, try to be normal. So I mean, yeah, for sure mental health is it's a big thing, and it's all these different things, awarenesses, and just rising awarenesses of different things, and just I mean, at the end, there's all these awarenesses and all that stuff. It's all great, but it's a part of being human. It's we're all fucked up. We all have issues, regardless of what you do in life. But it's just focusing on positive outlets.
And so yeah, I mean, like we literally all are fucked up, and we all have our own demons, all have our own battles that we go through. Fighters, as we said, a little bit different. It's like we all that mentally fucked up aspect. But I kind of so, and I did say the R word a little bit, but I'm assuming at the very minimum, to finish your career, you want at least one more fight in Canada, like at least one more before you hang it up, no matter what happens in the next couple fights.
For sure. I never thought about like in Canada because I've been living in the US more and I'm starting to really like Arizona, Phoenix. So I don't know if I mean, Canada depends, you know what I mean? Like I know there's not a lot of Canadian fighters and there's not a lot of Canadian fighters who lasted this long in 10 years, you know what I mean? So I know there's a lot of things that fighting in Montreal Bell Center, I'm undefeated in the Bell Center in Montreal. That'll be cool to go back to the Montreal Bell Center.
Would be really cool. And also, I don't think there's really no one Canadian that's ranked high enough to really headline a card in Canada either. So it's kind
But
of hard to.
last time UFC came, it was headliner was Anderson Silva. I mean, they can headline any.
Yeah.
There's good guys that would headline. You don't need to have a Canadian.
No, you don't. No, you don't. I was just saying there is none, but you don't need them. There's a lot of guys though that could be like right up there though, like the Jourdains. You got Tanner Bozer. You got a bunch of Canadians you can throw up there. You got you. You got a lot of guys. You got a lot of guys. But you said it a minute ago. You have started to comment. You started to become more of an American. Started to appreciate Arizona. Is it because it's a little bit warmer there than it is up there in Canada?
Everything, just the people. I feel like it's just people are more friendlier.
Than Canada?
Yeah, Canadians. It's not. I don't want to say maybe. You know what? It's not friendlier. It's different.
A
But that's
different
just
kind. Yeah.
different from back at home.
Okay. I think I know I know what you mean. I know what you mean. There's like in terms of there's different ways of being friendly. I think I know what you're talking about. I think I know what you're talking about here. Yeah. So, one more thing. I've never really asked this to a fighter before, but I've heard some people say they don't like vices and things like that. But caffeine. As someone who works all the time, I am a caffeine addict. Before you go in there to the gym, or maybe before a fight, do you drink a cup of coffee or anything like that, or you just kind of go in there raw without anything like
No, definitely. I'm a coffee guy for sure.
that?
Coffee beans are very important. I actually like for me it's like wine. I don't just drink any coffee. I try to make it. It has to be espresso, dark, either Italian or Cuba or from Colombia. The coffee beans have to smell right. I have to taste right. For me, I'm very meticulous with my coffee, and
Okay.
that was actually the stressful part of traveling is to find good coffee.
Really?
Yeah.
Craziness. So then that means when you get when you get to France, then you're gonna have to be looking. You're gonna be right away looking for what coffee to get, what coffee to use,
That's
what's the best source.
that's the stressful part. I got to figure out what the fuck I'm gonna do with the coffee.
How much you drink them before a fight?
I drink like espresso, so it's mostly dense. I don't drink a lot of like liquid. I
Yeah,
don't
you
drink
don't want to do that.
4 or 5 shots of 3, 4. I'll probably drink before the fight, depending on what time I'm gonna fight in the arena. I'll probably drink, at least between 8, 10 espressos.
Oh yeah, I like that. I like that. That's something I feel like that's something I would do too. Do you drink it like right? So obviously, you have the right before. Do you do it right before the walkout, or like when? How do you time it up?
like half an hour, an hour.
Half an
So
hour
it's
to an hour.
my pre-workout drink.
Okay. I
Like
like that.
people love pre-workout drinks. Me, I drink my espresso.
See, I do both. I'm a psychopath. I drink coffee and like because I work out when I wake up in the morning, I'll drink like
Yeah,
2 cups of coffee and then immediately do one of those pre-workouts. And my
if you
heart's just
yeah, if you like, if it works.
it works. It works. Probably not the best thing for my body, let's be honest. Not the best for my heart or anything like that, but hey, it works.
Yeah, you're still alive.
It is the life. It is the life. Now you're also a nutritionist. Is that going to be the gig after you're done with the career? Obviously, not anytime soon. But is that the eventually hoping to transition to be a full time like nutritionist?
Just from all the weight cutting and understanding the body. Before, in the beginning of my career, I used to stress a lot. Like it's still stressful. Weight cutting is stressful because you're
Yeah.
putting your body with extreme measures, of depletion and dehydration and all that stuff. But I mean, it's a knowledge, it's a tool, right? It's like just like in anything else in martial arts. I have tools. I learned. My first discipline was Taekwondo, and then I learned karate, kickboxing, and boxing, and Muay Thai, right? And all so forth and so on, and strength conditioning. Working with so many different guys. I worked with some of the best coaches in the world. I trained with some of the best training partners. GSP, Anthony Pettis, Ben Henderson, now Javier Torres. Like I'm, I have a lot of experience, so I feel like for me to just keep it to myself and not, share it to other people, it's a waste of talent.
It is. It's like when you get the gifts, you got to spread the gifts with other people.
Correct. Yeah, man. So, yeah, if people want to come, I have my own website. I got, I want to, coach people, but I'm more of one-on-one coaching. I just feel like it's more personal, and because of my experience, you get best bang for your buck. When it's one-on-one because it's more personalized versus a group of people. Because when you're training with a group with a mass of people, you don't really get their attention, and you don't really it doesn't benefit the other person. When it's one-on-one, you really get the benefits because it's catered to you, to your specific needs, and that's how you troubleshoot.
And also at the same time, like everyone's body is completely different. So like you might be doing one thing for somebody, but you have to completely switch it for someone else. Like not every plan works for every single person.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. As we talked about, human body, very interesting, very complex, and it's not as simple as some people like to make it out to be. It is a very complex space and issue. Not even issue, but it's a kind of a complex idea.
100%.
100%. All right, man. So before I let you go, you don't like this guy. So how are you going to beat Nasrat at UFC Paris to start your run towards the title?
Well, me, I'm looking for a KO.
Nice, simple to the point. I like it. I like it.
Waiting for the knockout. Either kill or be killed mentality.
Love it. I love it. I love it. So before I let you go, if you have anything you want to shout out, go ahead and shout out, and then we'll wrap this thing on up.
I want to thank you for reaching out to me, opportunity for the interview. I want to just say thank you for all my loyal fans, 10 years of supporting me, and just check out, if you guys want to check me out on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, at John Makdessi. I have a website, johnmakdessi.com. If you guys want to support Bullwear, it's one of my new merch. And yeah, man, just I want to thank everybody for the continuous support.
10 years and 10, maybe another 10 more. We'll see what happens. All right, man. Appreciate you coming on.
Thank you.
All right. Fun interview with our man. Hope he kicks Nasrat's ass this weekend at UFC Paris. Middle of the day card. Great day drinking and just watch some fights or a couple bowls, get a little buzz, all that kind of shit. But let's talk about this past weekend MMA. We had Mighty Mouse turn finishing Moraes and what was maybe one of the most I thought he was getting his ass kicked. We said he looked washed.
Yeah, he did. He looked bad the first, like, what, 2.5, 3 rounds. He did
Yeah.
not look good at all.
Dude,
and
he
then,
looked bad.
yeah, he started picking it up, though. I would say towards the end of he got the knockout in the 4th round or the 5th round.
Fourth. It was at the end of the fourth.
Yeah. Yeah, so towards the end of the 3rd, I was like, okay, he's kind of catching his footing. But yeah, he wasn't looking good at all. I mean, he was literally on his back the first 2 rounds pretty much the entire time.
Yeah,
So,
I think the funniest thing too is you had all these people in talking about how Moraes could be competitive and maybe he should fight Peter Yan and have beat Peter Yan. No chance in hell. That's one point that I just want to say that real quick. That's one of my favorite things about having no UFC for a week. People start to convince themselves that these guys in other promotions really could compete, and then you get reminded, Mighty Mouse beat this dude who's really like a 145er, knocks him the fuck out, flying knee, kind of it was a crazy finish, man.
yeah.
And we're back to remembering why we all love Mighty Mouse. He's a fun dude. Now, I was gonna say too. I remember right before the finish, like, there's no way in back-to-back weeks we have super late finishes. It's like there's no way that happens. Like, that's how my dumb brain works. And you have it once, it doesn't happen again. And holy shit, it was
It
just,
happened.
it was crazy. Now
It was crazy.
the timing of the knee too. Like, I don't think we really
Beautiful.
appreciate how fucking difficult it is to time that up the way he did and hit him the way
Yeah.
he did. Like, that was crazy.
And it was his left knee too. Like I felt like it was his off. It looked awkward when he threw it. Like it didn't feel like it was his natural side to throw that knee. But I mean, it hit square and Moraes literally folded like a lawn chair. That man just
The walk-off was
collapsed.
sick too. The walk-off, like, he knew
Yeah.
right away, no extra shots needed. He landed the knee, didn't even
No.
look at him. He just ran away. Like,
Yeah, that was tight.
that was cold as
It was
fuck.
dope.
That was so
It was
cool.
dope.
But the right hand that clipped him though, I didn't even realize that clipped him. I thought that was
Yeah.
it didn't even look that like hard, if that
It was
makes
super.
sense.
Yeah, it was super clean. It just ducked right under the jab and then just came
Right on
right
the
with
button.
that right hand. Yeah, perfect right on the chin, and then little stumble, flying knee, and it was a wrap.
It
It was literally, man. It was nuts. I was sitting here like just like casually, and all of a sudden I was like, holy shit! Like I jumped out of my chair. I was like, oh my god.
I was at a bar. with all my friends. So I was that guy with my phone out watching one championship. It's like me and my friends are huddled around my phone, and all of a sudden everyone's just shouting, and then all of a sudden it's go, oh shit! And everyone like looks over, and I was like, sorry. It's like, dude, Mighty Mouse, the fucking goat. I think the funniest thing, dude, it's I'll be that guy.
He
I was that
is.
guy at this like outdoor. I was also at this for UFC 278. Yeah, the Moreno Kai France fight. I remember I was again another bar situation where we were trying to get into another. I was trying to drag other people who were in town. Like, hey, we got to go to this other bar so we can watch, the main event and all that. So again, I just had my phone on the ground and people huddled around. I'm just always that guy. It's bad though.
You
'cause I
got
can't
to,
tweet.
man.
I
When
can't tweet.
you're a fan, you gotta make it happen whenever you can.
Hey, when you're a podcaster, you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta make some sacrifices, and that includes not
Can't
having your
miss
phone.
anything.
Your phone dies, and then you're you have to rely on your friends at that point. But it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm a
Yeah.
soldier. What can I say? The sacrifices I take to make this thing work. But no, it's great to see Mighty Mouse get the big win. That'll be a fun trilogy. I mean, probably assuming they're going to run that back again, because I mean, it wasn't like Mighty Mouse is really. It wasn't like it was a clear cut Mighty Mouse win. We were going to have another probably controversial decision or a pretty close decision based on the way he started to take over. But no, it is what it is.
They definitely got to run the trilogy back, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're in the age of trilogies.
Yeah, literally.
Literally
We
the
really
age of
are,
trilogies.
so
It
I don't see why
ends.
not.
Oh no, not at all. And it'll be
And
fun.
it was a good fight.
Oh yeah, it was a very good fight. Very competitive. It was a mixed martial arts fight. Some will say.
Yeah,
It wasn't just boxing. It wasn't just wrestling. It was everything.
Yeah, I was super thrown off though watching that card because each fight was a different fight. Like one
Yeah.
of the fights was like Muay Thai, a different one was just like MMA, and like they kept going back and forth. So I was getting super confused. I'm like, why are these? Cause I saw one fight like guys were getting thrown to the ground, and then just like the ref was standing them up. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Because I thought it was just all mixed martial arts, like not just like straight up like Muay Thai or things like that. But it was kind of cool to see like different styles. I don't think I've ever like actively watched like a Muay Thai match before outside of like YouTube or something like that. So
Or like when you're doing tape on somebody or something.
yeah, exactly.
I
Doing
really- I
tape
really
like
watch
old
Muay Thai.
stuff.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. It's very interesting, and I like it. I know we obviously with one being smart and having their fights and having that card be the weekend. There's no other events. Yet everyone talking about is one the second best promotion in MMA game. You can make the arguments for it. I think it's probably the most violent because of the Muay Thai and kickboxing thing. So you see more aesthetically pleasing kind of fights for casual audiences. But I think everyone has their own pros and cons. Like if you want to watch young prospects, I mean, I don't think there's anyone better than Bellator with it. They do have a ton of young dudes. But in terms of like putting fights together, I mean, one probably is, and then you can. I mean, PFL though, just I don't know. They all have their strengths and weaknesses.
For sure. I enjoyed one. That was my first time watching a whole card.
That was my first time watching a whole card too. Yeah.
And I was like, this is actually pretty tight. And I mean, the fans were in it. Is it in Asia?
It was in Singapore.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, the fans were super into it, which was great to see. I mean, I feel like that always makes the fights more exciting when you got fans there who are like super hyped up and ready
There's
to
something
go.
in the water in Singapore because that was what UFC 275 was at, and there was just that card was fucking crazy. And then that
Yeah,
one card was crazy. There's just something about Singapore, man. It gets people going.
it does.
Gets
Hey,
people going. I guess
let's
that's
get more cards out there then, so
hell
we can
yeah.
see some more violence.
Hell yeah! And I think I got, so I don't know if you saw the ESPN do the best fighter at like the certain like age or whatever. You know what I'm talking about? Did you see this?
Yeah, yeah.
I love how they did that immediately after Mighty Mouse's fight, thinking, oh, they're probably gonna throw Mighty Mouse up there. Nope, they put Michael Chandler there.
Yeah,
Instead.
that's funny.
It's so disrespectful. They're like,
It
oh, with
is.
Mighty Mouse's win, we took a look at who's the best at every age group, and they don't even put him in there.
Yeah,
That list was very interesting, top to bottom. But hey, I would never.
it was.
I wouldn't even know how to put it together.
Yeah,
No, it was weird. It was interesting, but I thought that was pretty funny. I thought it was pretty ironic. And as I said,
it was.
we're at the part we're in the middle, like towards the end of the week. There's enough people talking about Leon and Kamaru. They had to move on to something else. Our boy Chael Sonnen, one of the best at doing it. He got the headlines going by saying Colby Covington should be the one who's next to fight Leon Edwards. You gotta love Chael. He is his boys. He will promote his boys like no ends. So shout out Chael.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Yeah, I don't think beating
That's
Jorge Masvidal gets you a title shot.
yeah, no, not even in the slightest. Yeah, I mean, the Colby backers they're alive and real. They're out there. They support their guy to the fullest. So can't hate him on that, but definitely disagree with no chance that Leon should be the guy that he fights next.
No chance.
Like he has to beat he has to beat somebody who's, quality. Sorry, Masvidal, but he's not quality, if you ask me.
No, not anymore. Not anymore. And it's like one of those things, like that doesn't make any sense. I don't understand why Chael doesn't try to support his boy Ricky Simone more. I love Ricky Simone.
Yeah.
Like he's someone too you need to support more because I think he's a really fun fighter. He's also not as
sure.
controversial as Colby, so that also helps a little bit.
No, not even the slightest.
No, and he's a little bit more
seems
fun.
like a great guy. Yeah.
Oh, he is a great guy. He's the man. He is the man. So shout out
Yeah.
Chael for always trying to bring Colby's name up in literally any conversation. So we talked about Moraes. People saying he could compete in the UFC's top 5 in the bantamweight division. No, sorry, that's not true. You're talking about one. Okay, let's move on to my favorite storyline this past weekend was Stephen Thompson rejecting the Shavkat fight and just being completely blunt about it. It's like, yeah, I said no.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. I mean, I don't know. I said on Twitter he didn't want to. He wanted to live to 40. He's 39. He wants to live those couple more months. See 40. Shavkat was going to end him rather quickly there, but I don't know how I feel about fighter. Like you're ranked, you're top 6. Like how are we turning down fights at this point? In my opinion, just it doesn't feel right for guys to turn down fights like that because you're holding up the division. Like I said, you're 39 years old. Like what are we fighting for? You want to fight Michelle Pereira? Like what does that do? Like you still have to fight these top guys eventually. So either fight them now or go.
I wonder how much of it is like how much time is left on his how many more fights does he realistically think he can get? Because he did fight 2 grapplers back to back, and maybe it's one of those things that I just want to go out on one more striking match and then call it a career. He's getting older.
Yeah, and that's fair if that's the case.
He just probably doesn't want to admit that what's going on. But who knows, man? Who knows? I think he has fought 2 guys back to back, terrible stylistic matchups. I don't blame him for denying it because it is just like. Shavkat is a future champion. He is probably the toughest dude to fight in the whole welterweight division. So,
I don't blame him, but I don't like it either.
I hate it and I love it all at the same time.
Exactly. What about continue? Sorry, go ahead.
No, what were you gonna say? I was just gonna say I love it, but
I was gonna bring up one more fighter that decided to say no to a fight, but
Colby.
Gaethje saying no to Fiziev.
Oh yeah. I don't know, like that makes no sense to me. I mean, it's not.
It's like you got a striker, bro. You finally got somebody who you could. I mean, you had Chandler. He could beat him. Striker. Like he obviously wasn't going to beat Oliveira. Couldn't beat Khabib. Grappling's just too heavy. So, I mean, what does he want? Like who is he looking for to fight?
If it's not Fiziev, who is it?
Yeah, like I don't know because that's the perfect fighter for him, in my opinion. I mean, a guy who will literally stand there and bang with you. Like that's Gaethje's, that's his wheelhouse, and I don't know why he would turn that fight down.
I think the only reason he turned it down it might be because he's going to be the one to fight Colby, because Colby has been rumored to be moving down.
That's fair. That's definitely fair.
And that has bad blood. So I think that might be the reason. But other than that, I don't know who else in that like division at the moment he has not fought already that fits his stylistically, and it's physique because he's like the
Exactly.
perfect stylistic matchup for Gaethje to at least bare minimum get fight of the night. Like that fight would be crazy, it'd be bonkers.
I
'Cause
agree.
that's all
Oh
Justin Gaethje
yeah.
does. It's just
Oh
bonkers
yeah.
fights.
That would be a super duper fun fight.
Because you're not gonna fight because Gamrot's fighting Benny. He's never gonna fight Benny.
No way. He will never fight Gamrot.
No, he's never gonna fight Gamrot. He'll say no to him every day of the week.
He won't fight Sarukian.
Never. He won't
Not gonna
fight.
fight Jalen Turner.
No.
Like maybe Riddell.
Yeah, but Burdell's out of the rankings, so kind of.
Yeah, exactly.
Is
That's
he
what
out of the
I'm saying.
rankings,
Like,
or is he
I
down to
don't think
15?
he's out, but he's low.
He's either out or right on the cusp of being out.
Yeah.
And then him fighting Moicano, well, it kind of makes sense. He's fought two up and comers back to back. Does make sense actually, kind of to fight Moicano. Oh, I found my phone, by the way. Guess where it was? Guess how fucking stupid I am.
Or was it?
Right
So,
under you? Like
it is
under your
literally-
leg or
Pocket?
something?
Literally on my chair to the left of my leg. It is literally.
Love it.
It literally there is. You can. I'm so dumb. Anyway, yeah. I don't know what Gaethje's gonna do. As a Gaethje fan, I really was excited about the Fiziev fight just because Fiziev has been knocked out before. It's not like the dude's chin is fucking granite. He can be knocked out. So I just don't really understand why he didn't take it. Maybe he thinks he can get a title shot. I don't know. Pretty crazy.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I don't see how he gets a title shot either. He's had 2
No.
title shots. He's kind of in that Dustin Poirier section for me where they've gotten 2 title shots already within the past, 4 or 5 years, and like you can't just keep giving them title shots. Like, what are we gonna do? I mean,
You have to move the division. You have to keep moving the
Exactly.
division.
Exactly.
I wonder if that means maybe the Connor fight is more realistic than we think. Maybe that's the other name. It's either I bet it's either Connor or Colby. That has to be
Yeah.
it.
RDA potentially.
Yeah.
I did like what RDA said though about. He said he's kind of done. He said he
Yeah.
knows his shot for a title's done, so he just wants
Yeah.
fun fights, things like that. So I mean, RDA Thompson might be a decent fight at 170.
Shit.
Put 2 old guys together and just, I mean, RDA said fuck cutting weight, go up to 170. Fight
I like
one
that
more
though.
time or 2
I
more times.
love that out of RDA. Like that. It takes a
Yeah.
lot. It takes a lot of self-reflection to be like, yeah, I know I'm not going to fight for the title
It
anymore.
does.
All right, it's time to just have fun, have some good fights, end my career that way. I was talking to a guy like Tanner Boser about this too. I always use him as an example because he's very raw. He says it the way it is. He's like, at the end of the day, I don't think I'm going to win a championship, but I am a prize fighter. I'm going out there to win. Do I think I can beat Ngannou? Shit, maybe once, but I don't know if
Yeah.
out of like 100 times. I don't know if I can beat him more than a certain amount of times. So like it's just like being realistic. Sometimes guys have to be realistic, and I do like that from RDA. I love that. But yeah, RDA,
Yeah.
Tom Wonderboy, that'd be a fun fight. They never fought when
Exactly.
RDA did his little stint.
No.
170 did that.
No, they didn't.
I don't think so. Yeah, that'd be a fun
Um,
fight.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with what you said. Like, it definitely takes a lot of self-reflection, and I wish more fighters. Bless you. I wish more fighters who are getting older took that same approach. Like, you're not fighting for a title. Like, just have fun fights. Like, make money, give the fans what they want, and I mean, I'm not saying go out there and just bleed, but
No,
go out there and bleed, bro.
Let it out. Let it bleed. I feel like that's what Peter Yan's doing right now too. He's kind of in this stuck situation. Like, fuck, I'll just fight the biggest name in the sport right now. I'll fight one of the biggest names in the sport. I'll fight Sean O'Malley. Yeah, it just
He
makes
loses
sense.
to Sean. Oh man.
Oh, I'm gonna be so pissed.
What do
honestly.
we do with that guy?
I don't know what you do with Peter, but I would also be big for the UFC would want that.
I mean, yeah,
That's
Sean,
100% what they want.
Oh yeah, 100%. I
but
mean,
it's
Sean
not
being the
going to.
champ would be a fucking match made in heaven for the UFC.
You put Aljo against Sean O'Malley. I mean,
Yeah,
Sean,
like-
if he wins, he gets the title shot, which we still have about a little over a month away. That's gonna.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's gonna be such a fun.
It's on the same night, right?
It's all the same night.
Yeah. So I
All
mean,
the
we'll
same
kind of know what's gonna happen. I feel like they'll rematch that Jan and Aljo fight again if Jan wins and Aljo wins.
Yeah, because they're not gonna put Marab. Aldo's out. Song
No.
Yudong's not gonna get it.
Basically, bring it
Sandhagen-
back as a trilogy.
Yeah, and I don't know if Sandhagen gets it off a win off Song Yudong either. So we're looking at actually I was about to say Cejudo, but let's actually talk about this. Cejudo Holloway, like someone suggested that. I think it was Cejudo who suggested that, right?
Yep, it was Cejudo. He said that he wants to come
I
out. That's who he wants
like
to fight.
that. I like
I do
that.
too. I like it a lot.
Like I love that. Like that's a number one. It gives Max something.
Yeah.
It gives, and obviously that gives. That's a great test to see is Cejudo. Can he fight at
His
145?
back.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. And
and,
fight at 145, you're right.
yeah. It's a great litmus test for both. It gives. That's like the closest you can get to a championship fight for Max Holloway at this point without fighting to a championship, which is kind of crazy to say, and a lot of people may not want to accept it. But like Cejudo's a fucking dog, dude. He is short.
Yeah.
He is very short, but he's a dog.
He's a beast. I mean,
He is a
can't take
beast.
anything away from him at all. Definitely can't take anything away from him. I mean, his track record speaks for itself. Like we don't have to sit here and
No, we don't have to sit here and try to act like we don't have to prove the fact that Cejudo's a dog. He is
exactly like he is, and it is just true. I like that a lot, especially for Max. I mean, that he's in no man's land. It's like you move up to 155 and probably get clobbered against majority of those top 10 guys, or just kind of fight at 145 and beat these guys who are just not title contenders, but you could just beat them. But I think Cejudo would be the best one, like you said, closest thing to like a title shot without actually getting the belt.
Probably main event. I don't know if you put that on a.
I mean, that's an Apex main event.
I don't even think. I think you could put that like on a. They're not going to go to Hawaii, but I think that could be. I think that could main. Sure. I think that can main event like a UFC like Columbus or something. Like this is an example. Yeah. Like you could headline one of these, or like a San Diego, like places like that. I think you could headline with that. Like it's the return of Henry Cejudo and Max Holloway. It'd also be great for Max Holloway because he wouldn't take a beating to the fucking face. Let's be honest.
That's a big thing too for him.
It gives him it, even though like obviously yes he'll get hit in the face, but it's not like Volkanovski throwing fucking bombs on him for 5 rounds. No. And it'll be a nice little recovery period for him to get ready for whoever he gets to fight next. Like I don't know who else he fights at 145 because he's beating Ortega, he's beating Yair. In the Yair fight, I'd watch that every month. Like that fight was crazy.
Yeah,
that fight was.
There's Cater and fucking Emmett. Like that's literally it.
Emmett would be a good one, but that's the problem. I mean, maybe that's how Emmett deserves his title shot. You have to go beat Max Holloway.
Yeah, I mean, I think that should kind of that's fair. Because I didn't think he beat Qatar, so
no. Well, he didn't. He just kind of got lucky.
Yeah,
the judges gave him that one. And then one more piece of news came out actually before we recorded this was Rob Whittaker saying he might move up to 205, which I love Whittaker. I hate that though. I really hate that for him.
Yeah, I don't see how moving up to 205 does anything for him. He's small. He's only like 5'10". Mm-hmm. I mean, I think he's a better shot at cutting to 170 than going to 205. But I mean, easier said than done, losing that 15 pounds. But that's tough. I mean, we saw Izzy go up and fight Jan, and he literally just couldn't beat Jan because Jan was heavier. That's all it came down to is Jan was heavier. And I don't see how Whittaker is going to have any more of an advantage there with how much smaller he is than Izzy.
Yeah, it's I just don't see him competing for the title. Like I don't think he gets bonked by Yuri.
Oh yeah, he'll be itty bitty in there compared to Yuri too. Like Yuri will make. He
won't be able to mix up everything like he does now, like just takedowns and wrestling. He won't be able to even use it all probably at 205 because they're all going to be so much bigger.
No. Not at all.
He should just stay at 205. Like eventually Izzy's going to move up, and then probably when Izzy moves back up again, you could probably do Whittaker versus someone for the interim, and then that's when you run back Whittaker, Izzy 3.
Yeah, I mean, that's the biggest jump in that you can make in the UFC is middleweight to light heavyweight. It's 20 pounds, so
that's a lot.
It's a lot of weight.
A lot.
And these guys at 205 are weighing in at 205 and coming in like 220, 230, 240.
Fuck it, let's do a cruiserweight division. Let's do a cruiserweight division at 195. That would be fun.
It's not bad, honestly. Something in between. I mean, because if you look at just the body types of those guys, like there's a massive difference between 205ers and 185ers. Like,
and it's the same thing between the 205 to heavyweight. Like the gaps are massive.
Yep, it's huge. It's crazy that it's like that.
So if Izzy were to ever actually win the light heavyweight title, it would look a lot better now than like winning back in the day. Even like DC winning light heavyweight and heavyweight, like that's still crazy. Like that's fucking crazy.
It is for sure, especially if DC's small. Like
that was that was a very underappreciated like double champ status. And I say that with like he gets a lot of respect for it. Obviously, he has that double champ status, but like going from 205 to 225, like dude, that's crazy. Like it's fucking crazy. And he took out Stipe. Like, oh man, I don't think he gets enough credit for it. And here in like what, like 5 years, when we're kind of further away from DC's playing career, dude, people are gonna be shitting on him all the time for his commentary, and people are gonna forget how good he was.
How good he was, yeah, I agree. I mean, you don't even hear people really talk about him being like a double champ and whatnot anymore.
Never.
So I think people just shit on him so hard, but it's like, nah. Same with Cejudo though. Like you know, you see these guys who were really good, but they're just cringy after the fact, and everybody kind of forgets their fighting days. But yeah, that was super impressive by DC.
Yeah, and so there's one other big storyline that happened in the UFC, but we're going to talk about our winners and losers because it's very funny. But speaking of that said, let's go on and dive on into our winners and losers for the weekend. I'm just going to start everyone off with a winner. This doesn't count towards everyone's totals, but winner Jacoby Brissett, friend of the program, coming out there saying, I don't have any problem not being Deshaun Watson. That is a great soundbite.
That's a dub.
Dude, that's a fat dub. That's a fat dub. Unfortunately, he's going to lose to Carolina in his first start. But shout out Jacoby.
That's the Baker revenge game.
Oh God,
yeah, they're gonna blast those boys. It's gonna be a bad one.
Oh yeah, Harrison, I need you to start taking track of like when I say the word, like just now, just so I can make sure I can go back and bleep it. But like, I don't say the word often.
No.
God damn it, the Carolina Panthers are the closest thing to a one that there is out there. But moving on to our actual winners and losers, I'll start with my first winner, and it's dick writing. So why are you saying dick writing? Well, the NFL players top 100 list came out this past, actually I think it came out today. They make these lists purposely to piss people off, and god damn it, it worked. It worked. Tom Brady as the number 1 overall player in the NFL. What the fuck?
Bullshit.
What the fuck? Like, okay, greatest of all time, yes, 100%. But trying to tell me a 45-year-old Tom Brady is better than Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Aaron Donald, fucking all these other dudes? Get out of here, dude. Come on. I understand leadership and all that stuff, but I'm also in the team of the quarterback isn't the best player. It's like they're most important, but I don't think they're the best player half the time.
Yeah. I mean, hell, you can have a center who's the best player on your team. The quarterback is just the focal point of the play. Like, that's it.
They're the most important in terms of like if they suck or their offense is going to suck.
Yeah,
but, you know,
exactly.
Things like that, like Aaron Donald.
But if you have a somewhat decent quarterback and like a running back who's a stud or wide receivers who are the best in the league, you're gonna be fine. But if you have a dog shit quarterback, you're screwed.
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
That's fair.
Yeah, but anyway, I know you're a Brady fan, Ant, but it's kind of hard for me to say 45-year-old who's addicted to plastic surgery is the best player in the NFL.
No, I don't disagree. I mean, no, I see like sure, like yes, you take Tom Brady off the Bucs, like they're probably going fucking 1-16 or whatever it is, but at the same time, I mean, it's a popularity contest that stuff. When they have Mac Jones like top 70 in the NFL, like I like Mac Jones, but he's not even that high.
No, not at all.
It's one of those things where it's like it's really just a popularity contest, and I mean, yeah, I don't know how Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen or Aaron Donald. Like I feel like the number 1 could just be one of those 3. Probably Aaron Donald every single fucking time, if we're gonna be honest. But he plays defense, so I think that's the main reason why people are like, eh. But if you
Aaron Donald's such a psychopath, he literally needs like a tamer, like someone like to always be in charge of Aaron Donald watch, because the dude flips out all the time on people. He's a psychopath.
He's dual wielding helmets in that ball in practice, like
fucking badass.
Literally just throwing haymakers with helmets. Like, come on, bro, you're wild.
Like that dude's crazy, but that's what you want out of your best player. You want them to be psychopaths.
Yeah.
If they're not, everyone in pro sports, they are psychopaths. Like
you have to, especially football.
You have to be a psychopath because you have to be so addicted to being good at the sport that you have to put that much time and effort into it. Obviously, there's a couple of people who kind of they Mickey Mouse their way in because they're just God-given talents are so good. But the guys who are like good, like everyone in the top 100, they're psychopaths. And it's just that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. And then everyone, and then outside of the NFL, like if you go to like the MMA and stuff, literally anyone in professional fighting, you're a psychopath.
100%. If you're professional fighting, not every screw is tight in the brain on that one.
The
There's
screws are
definitely something
loose. There's screws missing.
Definitely something
Screws
loose.
loose. Probably don't even have all the right equipment to go into the brain, but
Yeah,
it is what it
I
is.
got all respect for them, but screws are not all the way.
Love them.
There.
Love them all. Love them all. Great people most of the time. But not everything is there to go in there and fight in a cage for a living.
Yeah, I agree, man.
Moving on to our next winner. Let's go on and dive on. Let's do Harrison. Why don't you start off your first winner?
Yeah, so my first winner goes to Julian Edelman. Buddy's been retired, 2-3 years now, and he's just been having a hell of a time since. He just did a Reddit AMA where he confirmed that Tom Brady's going to be on the next season of The Masked Singer, and that's where he was these last few weeks. It was like, he responded to a question. It was like, yeah, what's Tom been doing? He was like, I guarantee you Tom Brady's going to be on The Masked Singer season, whatever the fuck season it is. So shout out Julian Edelman for just giving away a lot of shit. I'm
about 90% sure. You're sure you know that sarcasm, right?
I mean, yeah, but I could see it at the same time. There's
he got your ass.
There's a theory going. No, there's a straight up theory.
I've seen the theory. If you look,
believe it.
If you looked at his skin, it looks like he went to Cancun and just got a shitload of plastic surgery.
Also that too.
Well, to be fair, to be on Max, maybe he needed to do that.
Yeah, I saw someone say character from hair transplant.
Yeah.
I saw someone say he's looking like that. The character from the Righteous Gemstones, Uncle Baby Bobby or whatever the fuck it is. Yeah, it's bad.
Man.
Oh,
it's bad.
God. All right.
So shout out Julian.
Shout out Jules. I love Jules. Just thirst traps all the time, but hey, do what you do, man. Even with the wife. Shout out.
Even with the wife and kid.
Anthony, your first winner.
My first winner goes out to the indigenous tribes in Peru. There's about 15 uncontacted tribes, about 15,000 members, and they've been on the news lately, and I've seen it even in the past. I'm not promoting death at all, but they essentially murk people who come onto their land and trying to cut down trees, and just really people from civilization coming in. They don't fuck with it. They don't like it, and I mean, can you blame them? They've had their people, killed for literally thousands of years now. So it's just one of those things where shout out to them for protecting the land and standing up for themselves.
No one knows their language either. That's the crazy thing too. No one knows. Oh my gosh.
It's really fascinating and cool, but these loggers are fucking around now.
They are, man. Yep, they really
finding out is always the most fun part.
Well, for some people, for the tribe, they get to eat. They get to eat good for a little bit. Even though they're eating their ass too, or technically they are eating their ass, but they're eating real good. Which actually kind of a nice little segue into my first loser, who is God. So I don't know if you guys saw this past week. DJ Khaled came out and said, God told me I need to buy a $3 million watch. If God is now telling DJ Khaled to get watches, wow, he's not my God anymore. Like, the fuck? No. God should be helping these guys, like, let's say, like, I don't know, who's the most religious guy in the UFC who's like, God chose me to kill people in the octagon? Tresean Gore. Let's say Tresean Gore goes out there and murders someone in the octagon. Like, I want God to be doing that. Like, I want you to help him. I don't want you to help DJ Khaled and tell him to get a watch. I want you to tell so-and-so, like, I want you to choke his life out. Like, that's what I want my God to do. But if he's telling someone to get Mickey Mouse watches, it is what it is. Not my God. And then also, as we said, the tribes being untouched. God's losing his most precious children, the ones that don't question anything he does. They don't do anything except murder everyone who comes into their village. So, God, he's a loser this week. Harrison, you're the first loser.
Going back into the abstract concepts here, my loser is America. That's because in October, on the same day, Taylor Swift is dropping an album as is Harry Styles' movie coming out. So that's just going to be a great day for annoying people. But I mean, God damn it.
We can throw another thing onto this. It's the whole Addison Rae situation where her dad, Young Gravy. Oh, by the way, making out. I didn't realize I was making out. I thought that was.
Yeah,
that's just a kiss. What the fuck?
Oh no, that's the same thing as a hookup, right?
Apparently now. Apparently in 2022. And then her dad just fucking shows his abs like, yeah, I don't care. He can have my leftovers. Like, goddamn.
Buddy, you're 55 years old or whatever the fuck for getting into beef with the dude who calls himself Young Gravy. Grow up.
Addison Rae's really living the dream of having her parents become celebrities because she wiggled her ass on a social media platform.
Yeah.
Oh man!
And now they're forced to go public.
What a country!
What a country! What a country! All right, Anthony, your first loser.
My first loser goes to the Florida school system. They just announced that I think it was, when was it? In July, so a little bit a while ago, but not too long ago. They announced that if you are a military veteran, you just have to pass like a little test and you get a 5-year voucher to be a school teacher. That's it. You just need to be a military veteran. That's it. And you pass a little qualification and boom, you can teach in schools. So, I mean, I'm not saying military veterans can't teach, but I do think you need a teaching license to teach.
I think so too. They're just showing up to class. All right, guys, this is how we learned in Iraq. 1 stone plus 2 stones equals 3 stones, and that's what we had on the ground to use math there.
You just talk back to me, son? All right, give me 20 push-ups and lap around the school.
Hold up your desk for 3 hours straight, and that's your punishment for the day because you dared to speak back to me.
Whole other country down there in Florida. Whole other country.
Yeah.
There's other stuff too going on, but I didn't want to get too into it with what they're also changing up in the school system. So if you want to go ahead and Google that, you can read about all the shit that they're not.
There's your homework. Go in look at what's Florida got going on down there.
This is on the line and current events.
Yeah, we're getting into before we say something too controversial, let's move on to our next winners. My winner is plastic surgeons. We've already talked about it at depth. Tom Brady.
That's controversial for some people.
Tom Brady. Bro came out there with the cheeks just like.
If you watch that press conference, like I can't see anything in his face move. It's
scary.
Dude is filled.
But he got Botox here.
Dude is filled with Botox.
Yeah, I don't get it either, man.
He's gonna look like Michael Jackson by the time he gets done with all the plastic surgery he wants to get done. When he's like 55, dude, he's gonna look disgusting. When he's like in his like 15th year with the Bucks.
Yeah,
gonna look
exactly.
Bad. It's gonna look so bad. But yeah, shout out. Big winners. They're making a lot of money off Tom Brady. Harrison, your last winner.
My last winner, real short and sweet. It's Liverpool. On Saturday, they went out, scored 9 goals against Southampton. That's fucking ridiculous. Like, there's not much more to say about that. They just won this weekend. That's huge. That's a dub. Good for them.
Soccer.
I was talking soccer. Get the short, simple, and sweet.
That is impressive, though. 9-0. 9-0 in a soccer game is
9-0. 9-0. Come on, we're cultured here.
9-0.
9-0, sorry.
We're cultured.
9-0.
That's 1 goal every 10 minutes. Quick maths.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. You know, that's almost the same amount of goals per minute as Deshaun Watson is suspended games per assault. I don't know how that adds up, but it does. All I'm saying is just based on that math. I don't want to get canceled or anything, but based on that math, Matt Ariza should get what, like a half a game, just a halftime suspension? Just get 1 half? Isn't that how this works? I mean, I'm just going off what the NFL did. Isn't that what that one judge would rule based on that? Based on like what happened before? She'd be like, oh, well, Deshaun Watson got 11 games for assaulting 24 women. Matt Ariza, you get a half. Isn't that how this works?
What's the legal term? Jurisprudence.
Oh, my God.
Oh, God.
By the way, that guy fumbled the bag. Oh, not even fumbled the bag, but that just...
he just
committed one of the worst crimes you can commit.
He was America's sweetheart. And then next thing you know... Ooh.
Fuck this guy.
Yeah, America hates him.
I've seen a lot of people squander goodwill, but like, holy shit. I mean, everyone turned on him.
No, who's an ultimate... who's one of the best, the most ultimate bag fumbles was Dennis Schroeder when he left the Lakers the first time.
Yeah. He fucked up.
Yeah, he had 4-year, $84 million on the table, said no, and signed a 1-year, like, fucking veteran minimum. Poor
Shut
guy.
Schroeder.
And now he's not signed.
Well, he might
Yeah.
go back to the Lakers.
True.
For much less than they would have gave him, though.
Yeah. Well, hey.
Yes.
Damn shame.
Well, how old is he? Like 27, 28?
27, 28. Yeah, he's young
Something like
still.
that,
but-
yeah.
Well, he's not old enough to be on the Lakers. So,
That's true. You need a minimum age of 32.
you have to be born in the
Lakers.
80s to play
Yeah,
play in
yeah.
the Lakers. Yeah.
Yeah, besides Anthony Davis, right? Only,
Well, he won't play, so
Yeah, because he hasn't touched the ball since April.
Well, he'll touch the floor and immediately he'll have like a fractured fibula. Like it's just
Oh man.
dude's made of glass.
Just a hairline fracture along the base of his foot just from walking out on the court.
All right, Anthony, you're your last winner.
My last winner goes to gamblers. College football's back.
You can also say
about to be
you can
back.
also say losers.
Oh, that also could be fucking losers.
You can also say losers.
It's a mixed bag here.
It's a mixed bag. For me, it's a winner. So
It's a winner for me too.
and we can get away from baseball. I love I've enjoyed betting on baseball, but it's so volatile. I'm ready for something that is not so volatile.
Get me back to I love
keep it
gambling on
short.
18-year-old sports. Like, dude, fucking kick ass. Getting mad at a little like an 18-year-old for pushing the pace, or get mad at an 18-year-old because he drops an easy pass, or things like that. Just good old simple American fun.
Yeah.
Cursing him out on Twitter because he didn't get one.
Speak for
He got
yourself.
2 touchdowns, but you needed 3.
Speak for yourself. I would never DM anyone, dude. Those
Nah.
especially okay.
Never.
The real people are scum of the earth when they go after these like professional athletes. But imagine being such a big scumbag, you go after like college athletes. That's the
piece of
real
shit.
scum of the earth. Or
Yeah, it is.
I wonder if that happens in Texas, like for high school.
Oh, I
Oh,
guarantee
yeah.
in high school sports in Texas, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Like buddy from I don't know, Dallas Southeast dropped the state touchdown or the state championship winning touchdown, and the parents from that school are like, "Fuck you, you piece of shit! You cost my child a state title." God damn it, no.
Everything's bigger in Texas.
Guarantee that happens.
And my last loser. Let's go on and move on to our last losers. My first loser. You can also call him a winner. Is Conor McGregor. Obviously, you had the blowjob video that went viral yesterday, or 2 days ago. This is airing. It called one for that, but the loser is if you saw the picture of him in training, though, dude looks like he's like 60 years old. He looks terrible. Not only that, he's juiced up out the ass. He hasn't been tested by USADA at all, even though he's still in the rankings pool. Sus, just a little sus. But the fact that he's as big as he is and he still says he's going to make 155, or the fact that people still think he's going to fight anytime soon, craziness. But the coke. He does he needs to chill out on the coke because he looks terrible. Like it just looks bad.
Yeah.
He looks really, really bad. And he's only like 33, 34.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a good life lesson for most people, though. Chill out on the coke.
Yeah, for real.
Coke is not worth it. It's not worth it.
It's not. But yeah, he's no way he's making 155 again.
No.
And if he does, insta fade.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Horrible.
Oh, he's gonna.
Yeah, it's gonna be
That's
bad.
gonna be ugly.
It's gonna be real ugly. Well,
Yeah.
probably if he goes back to fighting at 155, it's probably gonna be Gaethje. So
Yeah, that's fair.
yeah. So we'll see. That chin's already a little cooked. It is a little bit cooked. I think DP took it away. We'll see.
Mhm.
We will see. We will see. But anyway, loser Conor McGregor, but he's also a winner because he posted as the most unsubtle blowjob video of all time. Harrison, your last loser.
Yeah, my last loser goes to apples because this weekend, or a few days ago, PFD commenter proved that if you're out of paper, if you're out of glass, there's a new fried-ass way to smoke your weed. And that's out of Glizzy's. I was at work, I was scrolling through Twitter, and I see this video of PFD commenter with a whole-ass hot dog with the area cut out and a hole going through it. He packed a fucking bowl in there and just ripped it out of a hot dog. I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
It was one of the weirdest videos I've seen, but
That's fucking
apples.
I saw that. I
Oh,
don't even
breaking
know what to
news.
think about it.
Breaking moves. Vadim Nemkov, Corey Anderson 2 is official for November 18th.
Ooh.
Nice.
Nice.
Well, Bellator action.
Yeah. And then that's also when Pitbull defends his title against Usman Nurmagomedov. So that's kind of a big Bellator card. Hopefully put it on a Friday, not the same weekend as a big UFC event. So, but knowing them, they'll put it on I don't know. We'll see. They'll fuck it up. Anyway, Anthony, your last loser.
My last loser goes to humans. The zombie ice is melting in Greenland. They call it the zombie ice, and they say it's gonna kind of fuck up the sea levels and shit. So humans.
Oh.
I thought you said.
Fantastic.
I thought you said zombie ice. Like there is some shit in there. I'm like, well,
Yeah,
what?
I was gonna say, like,
I mean,
hold the fuck up. Are we
well,
gonna be dealing with the
It's
zombie
like,
apocalypse right
do I need to start
Well,
shooting guns? Do I need to like?
I will add that they say that there are a lot of viruses and pathogens and things like that have been frozen in the ice. So with that ice melting, it is potential that new sicknesses and illnesses come with it.
Walking Dead.
So,
Walking Dead.
I mean, that's partially, I think, why it's called zombie ice. And so, yeah, I don't know, but humans, gotta be on the lookout.
My microchip does need to like get a little boost to get back up into my brain. So
yeah, exactly.
I need
exactly.
I need my back.
Yeah.
I need my next little booster for my microchip.
I need the government to be tracking me everywhere.
Yeah.
Like
new 5G, all that.
Oh,
all
yeah,
that
new
stuff.
Well, we need
to
to
track.
6G next. That's
yeah.
that's the upgrade. They put the
True.
nanobytes in there or whatever, and then like hooks up to your microchip.
Wait, 6G or 666G?
I don't know, man. That's a tough one.
That's tough. That's tough. All right, that's what we got for our winners and losers. I'm gonna shout out to James Krause. Holy shit, dude! This we forgot to talk about this. Oh my gosh, dude! This is the not the roller coaster. Like he's just gone on such a steep downfall over the past 2 weeks. You were on it first, by the way, Anthony. So shout out to you for being on that train early.
Yeah, I was. Man's a fucking scammer.
Yeah, dude.
That's all I'm gonna say.
It's like
it's a fucking scammer.
It's a fucking scam, and everyone's caught on though. I think I don't know who else is still in that little like group. I don't know who would in their right mind give that man $5,000. I'm not even gonna give you the winners. I'm just gonna like put some stuff on the line for you.
Yeah. The most bullshit part of it all was if you read the terms and agreements to it, it says if your bookie does not pay you out. For example, if you win $8,700. You have to pay that out of your pocket. Like, come on, bro. Like, nobody's paying, fucking $8,000 out of their pocket. They're going to wait for the bookie to give you their money, and then they'll give it to you. And also, the split was like 75-25. Basically, they took 75% of the profits. You kept 25% of the profits. Like, they were fucking tripping.
Yeah, dude, that's fucked up. I've never heard anyone even come close to that shit. I know people who give their stuff away and be like $25 on Patreon or whatever. But you can like track them. Like they're all, most of the time they know what they're doing. But I've never heard of anyone like, you have to give me what I'm not gonna. They like, I want to know your unit size, and then you have to give me that money back. Like, yeah, that's fucked.
And that shit's illegal in the UK. Like you literally cannot share your account in the UK. So like,
can you even do that in the States?
I mean,
I don't think so.
I don't believe so. I don't know for sure, but I mean, it would seem like it would probably know. I mean, because when you are signing up, you sign up under your name, your social security number, like you're giving your information. So yeah, I mean, that shit seemed illegal, felt illegal. I mean, homie scamming people left and right, and he
even if it's legal, it's like,
still a fucking scam if you ask me. And they're also like, our win percentage is like 58% or something. Like, buddy, you need a higher win percentage if we're doing this. Like,
I'm giving you 75% of my winnings. Boy, you better be at like 75. Like, goddamn.
Exactly.
I should pay you back the percent. Like, maybe I should pay you back the percentage like of that you win. So like, if you're at 58, I only have to pay you 58. Like would make more sense than your fucking bullshit he has going on. No, that dude had such a fall from grace. He was looking so good coming off the Ariel Helwani interview, and then he says, "I bet $3 million in Onama," and then we're like, "What the fuck are you talking about, dude?" Like, no human being would ever lay that chalk on their own.
Or like, I was also reading like from a lot of like very like, I guess, professional gamblers. They're like, to put $3 million down on someone is so fucking hard to do. They're like most sportsbooks don't even. I mean, sure, you could split it up at different places, but like $3 million to put it down on one fighter on one specific thing, it's like unheard of. Like nobody's putting $3 million down like that.
And I feel like usually when people do that, every book will announce when someone puts like a $20,000 bet on someone.
Yeah, exactly.
They always tweet that stuff. They always tweet it like so and so.
Why didn't we see 3 million?
Yeah, we never saw 3 million. We never
saw
1 million. Like I've never even seen a 1 million. I've seen maybe 500, The
Drake is
stake
like the
bets,
closest one.
and those stake bets are all bullshit. He gets paid back.
Exactly.
That's not even his money. Like that's.
It's stakes money. Who's like, hey, bro, we added that money to your account. Can you just post this screenshot real quick? They probably don't even put it in his account. They literally just probably sent him the screenshot and say, hey, post this. Like,
they're probably saying, who do you want to bet on? And he's like, who would you bet on? Like, I don't know. Who's the most popular fighter? Who's someone I know? Okay, just say that guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm glad he lost a lot of money.
I liked James Krause too. I'm not gonna lie.
I did
he used to
too.
do that betting show with Nick Kalikas and James Lynch, like the best bet show. But once he created his whole like the 1% podcast thing, is when he just like.
We were talking about that like before we started doing this, and you were saying I kind of like listening to it, but it's kind of been a little weird recently. And
he just his whole info just like switched. He went like from giving good advice to all of a sudden like. Everything he was saying was just like weird. And then I was watching the fights play out and it was just different than what he kept saying. And I'm like, why were you so correct for like the first 2 months that I listened to you? And then all of a sudden you're just wrong.
You don't just switch like that. You don't switch like that.
No, not at all.
No. All right. So before we end this thing, we disavow that, by the way. We disavow taking your money unless you're giving it to us. Please,
I gotta have provide a good service at least.
Yeah. But if you're better off just throwing that money in a fucking fire. So before we get going, anyone have any shout outs, closeouts, anything like that before we get on out of here?
I got 2 shout outs actually.
Oh, shit.
One, shout out Bishop Sycamore. It's been a whole year since that debacle went down, so that was such a good meme, and I miss it to this day. And my second shout out goes to New York City or New York State or something like that, because now if you're under the age of 21, you can't buy whipped cream because people have been taking the canisters and doing whippets with them.
Oh! For those not watching on YouTube, the look Anthony and I just gave Harrison was like, the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
That's why everyone's silent. We were like, what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
It's funny you say that. That reminds me of when I lived in Oregon, I couldn't buy Advil, like Sudafed Advil over the
you can't buy Sudafed like
counter.
You can't do that in Indiana.
Because like people were like making meth out of it and shit. And she's like, you could just drive across the border to Washington and go to there and buy it. But it was just like, it's like, what? Like, I can't go buy a fucking Advil? Like, not like normal Advil, but there's like the special, like, higher grade Advil. Like, you can't just, like, go buy that. Yeah, it's crazy. It was funny. Yeah.
It's like that in Indiana, too. We have the same rule.
Yeah.
Interesting.
People are getting high in the wildest ways possible.
Well, you need Sudafed. It's like an ingredient in meth.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
But still, to take Advil, break it down just so you can get some Sudafed out, that shit is where the Sudafed levels are probably very low.
Yeah.
Like I don't think it's like high enough to even.
I'm not a meth cooker.
You have to like go.
But I assume there's easier ways.
Meth around here.
Yeah, we're not cooking meth. But I feel like there's easier ways to get that Sudafed out, or like more higher.
I'd assume that like a whole bottle of Advil would contain like just enough Sudafed to make. I don't know how they really do terminologies for meth. Is it a batch?
I don't fucking know, man.
A sheet of crystal meth.
A sheet, yes.
I never came across it in my life. So.
I don't know. I haven't watched Breaking Bad long enough to remember what all the terms were.
No.
Do need to rewatch that. But I actually want to shout out the Cleveland Browns. I don't know if you guys saw the picture on Twitter of the guy holding a bag of weed.
Yeah, that was so good.
Dude, this team isn't real. On the sideline, this team isn't real. Did anyone try to get you guys with the Browns just signed Matt Araiza to a contract? Did anyone get you guys with that?
Everyone's been trying it, but it's like
I had someone put that in my group chat. And I was with I was in Chicago this weekend. One of my friends like, dude, you will not fucking believe this. I'm like, what? He's like, dude, Matt Araiza signed the Browns. I'm like, dude, that is not real.
That's fake.
That is 100% fake. That is the last thing the Cleveland Browns should be doing. But the fact that it's believable, this speaks all you need to know.
Sad.
It's all you need to know. Anthony, you got any shout outs before we wrap this thing on up?
Yeah, I got a shout out to Brian Robinson, the running back.
Oh,
for the
yeah.
Redskins.
Yeah.
He got shot. People were trying to rob him. He got shot. But he's good. He actually got shot in his ass and in his leg. So
I know it. I saw he got shot twice in the legs, but I wasn't.
Yeah,
so he got
in the
shot in the
leg.
ass.
I didn't realize it was his
How do you get
ass.
shot
was
in
in
the
that.
ass?
One was in the ass cheek and one was in the lower leg. So shout out to him for being okay. But I just thought it was
But he's
a
gonna
little
be sitting
funny
on
to
a
get
donut
shot
for
in
the
the
neck.
ass. It's a little funny, but
That's not
he's
tough.
perfectly fine.
Like that's
he's
like
good
of
to
all the
go.
places to get shot and be like, yeah, I got shot in. Be like, I got shot in the ass. That's not like that's not hard. You getting shot like in the chest or shot in like the fucking abs.
Yeah.
You can like rip it up and be like, hey, dude, this is my scar from when I got shot. You're not gonna pull down your
Yeah.
fucking pants. But dude, look where I got shot.
Yeah.
At least like he should have some padding there too. Like
Hopefully he walks out to
that's a
like
thick muscle
right?
area.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's not been rolled out for the season either, which is crazy.
No, he's not.
Yeah,
Good.
Yeah. Okay, so
Yeah.
just completely unaware. Is he supposed to be like actually playing or
Brian Robinson?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought
They moved
so.
Gibson to like potential like kick returner and punt returner. So he was still going to be used, but he fumbles so much. Like he.
Oh, that's right. I remember
there's
there's one of those
big
guys.
fumbling issue, and so Gibson he fumbles too much. And I think Brian Robinson, they drafted him like 3rd round, 4th round, and from Bama. So I think they were definitely going to give him some touches, but not at the moment.
Not for a couple months.
Yeah, no, I'm sure it's going to take some time to recover.
It'll take some. Yep. It's gonna be a while before he can get like laid out and land on his ass. That's gonna.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a painful recovery.
He's gonna be sitting on a donut for months.
Dude, that's gotta be the worst. That's gotta be one of the worst injuries. Either like you break your tailbone or something, you can't really sit down.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's awful.
That's tough.
Poor guy.
That's a tough.
All I'm gonna say is don't break your collarbone. That's another fucking awful one.
Oh, I've heard that, man. That your collarbone's like so fucking painful. I heard that's like super painful.
Yeah.
Can't relate.
Yeah.
You can't relate to
I
that
I haven't had that one either, but I wish that upon no one.
Yeah.
You just feel that, just feeling that, man. I'm like, ooh, imagine that's fucking snappy.
Sharp.
Well,
Nice and sharp from
my
the
shit's
crack.
still like lumpy from the break. It's bad.
You should get that checked out.
Oh no, they said it would be like that for the rest of my life.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
Don't get it.
If you look at a lot of football players that have a broken collarbone, they have like their shoulder looks fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've definitely seen that before.
Okay, well, that's the show. Don't break your
Learn something new
collarbone.
every day.
We got Aaron Jeffrey on Friday. We're working on getting someone to help us with our UFC preview. Excited to run that back. It's going to be very fun. We have a really cool card. A lot of like low key. I keep forgetting it's Rob Whittaker, Marvin Vettori fight week. That fight's like kind of under the radar a little bit, even though it's not.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also because we took a week off and it's just been all Usman, Edwards, Colby, Hamzat, Diaz. So
yeah.
Excited for that. We got a fun card. We got a fun preview. Everything will be a lot of fun. Be a good time. We'll talk to you guys on Friday. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking around with me all the way to the end. I just want to once again thank the sponsor of the show, Living.fit. If you're looking to better yourself, make sure you go to download the app or visit the website Living.fit today.